Heart disease is the leading cause of death in women in the U.S., causing 1 in 3 deaths each year and more than all forms of cancer combined. Yet historically, women have been underrepresented in cardiovascular research. The new St. Luke's Muriel I. Kauffman Institute for Women's Cardiovascular Research is the first of its kind dedicated to studying unique aspects of heart conditions in women. With me today is Dr. Tracy Stevens, the medical director of St. Luke's Muriel I. Kauffman Women's Heart Center. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Lindsay.
So Dr. Stevens, first of all, why have women historically been underrepresented in cardiovascular research?
Historically, we have felt that this is a man's disease, did not recognize that this could also impact women. The focus then for women was reproductive health and encouraging women to get their pap smears and their mammograms. And there were also barriers for research enrollment for women too. So we weren't aware, and a lot of barriers for enrollment. And so 30 years ago, we opened the St. Luke's Muriel I. Kauffman Women's Heart Center, the first of its kind in our country to take a proactive role in women's heart health, to be advocates on Capitol Hill, and also to embrace the importance of research. And whereas in the past we felt this was a disease just for men, we recognize certainly now that this is the #1 health threat to women. And yet with this, women still are only represented 30% in research. And of the research invested for women's cardiovascular conditions, 1% of research is dedicated to female-specific conditions outside of oncology.
Only 1%, such a low statistic. Now, what are some examples of heart conditions that uniquely or predominantly impact women that the team will be focusing on?
A major focus is that related to pregnancy, preeclampsia and eclampsia, or high blood pressure related to pregnancy. These women have a higher risk of heart attack and stroke later in life. Peripartum cardiomyopathy, heart failure related to pregnancy, and women with congenital heart conditions. Other focus includes SCAD, or spontaneous coronary artery dissection, where there's a tear or a separation in the lining of the coronary artery causing a heart attack. This is the leading cause of heart attack in women under 50 and the most common cause in pregnancy. And it's important to note, these are healthy women, no risk factors. Another is that of MINOCA, myocardial infarction or heart attack, without obstructive coronary arteries.
Okay, so on the focus of heart conditions in pregnancy, St. Luke's and UMKC recently announced the HOPE study for mom and baby. Can you tell us a bit about this nationwide study that the team is leading?
Yes, it is important to know that of all the developed countries in the world, the United States has the highest maternal fetal mortality. And the leading cause of death in pregnant women are cardiovascular conditions, and Kansas City leads the way in having one of the highest mortalities in our country. And so it is through the mission, the passion, and dedication of our research team that we are focused on, with the HOPE study, following 1,000 pregnant women who are at risk of pregnancy with cardiovascular conditions, looking at their outcomes. What interventions can we make that reduces the mortality and really improves the sobering statistic? The HOPE study is funded through the award of an NIH grant of $8 million, and we're really honored to work along the side of UMKC to study this very, very important initiative.
Gosh, such important research. Can you tell us about any other research efforts that are underway?
Some of the other research studies, Rebirth is studying peripartum cardiomyopathy, heart failure related to pregnancy, and how they recover afterwards. What are the important observations that we have that can identify, treat, and prevent poor outcomes related to pregnancy? The SCAD registry is a national database that we are the 3rd largest enroller in. So there's a lot of people with SCAD in our region. And I'm proud of my research colleagues who have presented the data we have thus far worldwide. And so we're making great strides in understanding SCAD, which again, far more prevalent in women. I mentioned MINOCA, ANOCA, angina with no obstructive coronary arteries. These are predominantly postmenopausal women presenting with heart attack or angina-like symptoms, but yet their main arteries are okay. They then get asked to check their gallbladder. Maybe they need treated for anxiety or depression when we're missing the boat. There is an entity that can cause angina symptoms related to coronary arteries in women that takes them on average 2 years to get the proper diagnosis.
Wow, wow. So what's your hope for the future with the creation of this new Institute for Women's Cardiovascular Research?
My hope is to provide the stability of from the initial one woman at a time when the Women's Heart Center was born, to create a research institute that will support in perpetuity the mission, the dedication, the passion my research colleagues have, and that we will be the leaders in providing the answers, where now we have far more questions than research-supported answers when it comes to women's cardiovascular health, especially the unique entities. And so we have an amazing research team. We want to build on that, expand it, and to continue to advocate on Capitol Hill, and to bring new treatments, quality of care. It will impact women across all generations. And we know that if we are successful, which I know we will be, we can close this research gap. And it is predicted in doing so by 2040, we will have saved our country over $28 billion and added 1.8 million years of life to women across all generations of women.
Wow. Such exciting work. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Absolutely. None of this would be possible without expressing gratitude to our community. From 30 years ago, when the Women's Heart Center was born, to where we are now with the Research Institute, none of this would have been possible without philanthropy. And as you said, that's what makes us unique. It's the only of its kind in our country. We are so grateful to the Muriel Brian Kauffman Family Foundation for their $10 million endowment that will secure our mission in perpetuity, and to all the other donors and the generous supporters in our community. From our team, we are so grateful.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Stevens.
Thank you, Lindsay.
To learn more about St. Luke's Muriel I. Kauffman Institute for Women's Cardiovascular Research, visit stlukeskc.org/women-heart-research. You can also stay up to date with all the latest health news and stories from St. Luke's at stlukeskc.org/news. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time on Health News You Can Use.